Yolda is a musical project in which Turkish and Belgian musicians work together and traveled from Istanbul to Ghent along the historical migration routes which the Turkish people took in 1964 to come to Belgium. It's actually 50 years ago that our government, the Belgian government, invited Turkish laborers to come to Belgium because our economy was booming and we did not have the labor forces here in our country to meet that economic growth.
In collaboration with our partner, the Centrale, another concert hall in Ghent, we made a long list of interesting musicians. We had a group with a more folk, traditional music background, a classical jazz music duo, and then a rock duo. We contacted our partners in Turkey, in Izmir and in Istanbul, and they found for us 3 duos from Istanbul and Izmir to couple up with these musicians.
Toen we aankwamen in Istanbul hebben de muzikanten elkaar eerste keer ontmoet. De eerste ontmoeting is even wennen aan elkaar, maar dat is daarna zeer vlot gegaan zonder probleem.
When I come into Istanbul, it's like very huge amount of impressions, like smelling, seeing, hearing. It's like arriving somewhere else, but like naked.
The rehearsals went well, although each one had a different way of working together. People had prepared tunes, had prepared songs, and they would sing them, and then the others would tune in and play, and also kind of jamming together around a certain composition or a certain melody or a certain song.
Ve biz geldiklerinin ertesi günü galiba buluştuk. Tabii heyecanla kim çıkacak karşımıza bekliyoruz. Onlarla bir araya geldik. Sonra ben hangi türküleri söyleyeceğimi söyledim. Neler yapabileceğimizi, işte nasıl olacak diye konuştuk.
Maybe the first day it was a bit difficult and a bit like, what? Who are these guys and how are we going to... And there's no baglama, what are we going to do? But from the second day on, there was trust.
Türk müziğini bilmeyen müzisyenlerle Türk halk müziğini icra edebilmek biraz böyle kafamda soru işaretleri oluşturmuştu ama ilk provada Thomas ve Walter bütün endişeleri yerle bir etti. Daha sonra işte gördük ki aslında bayağı bilgi sahibiler.
You start with it with a kind of humbleness and open to new things you will learn. And never start with an idea, I will to have this or this or this, because then I think sometimes you are disappointed. You meet people and you never know how they will be, how it will turn out, what their personality is. And then you wait and then you start jamming. And then you see a bit, you prepare of course a little bit, you listen to their music and then you see how it develop.
I'm very happy.
Okay, but for you, would you like more support or can you do this style of guitar? The best way to prepare yourself is to empty your mind and be open and just absorb whatever comes your way.
I remember that the more eclectic group, who had swapped back and forth field recordings, they would jam together and they would record all these jamming sessions and they would listen to them and be very critical and then take from that recordings pieces that they would use for the concert. It was a very intense process.
We worked with field recordings, so we recorded some sounds in Ghent, and we asked Barkin and Burak to record some sounds in Istanbul, And we sent our files to Istanbul, they sent their files to us. And with these files, we would imitate these sound files musically. And so we did it like a game. Starting with this field recording, it was very much like very honest and very personal material to exchange. It was like jamming for hours and hours and hours. And after these jams, in the pauses, it was like we were empty and saying nothing anymore to each other because we gave so much and we were like so much into let's do this, let's do that. After the rehearsals, we had a lot of interesting discussions about improvisation, about music notation, about graphical scores, about all these things.
And what I suggested a few more songs which are about going or about separation, leaving things behind, just to fit this theme.
Tabii proje göç projesi, gurbet projesi, yol projesi hepsi birleşti. Biz de bu amaca yönelik eserler seçmeye çalıştık.
Bas çaldım sadece. People came from here and then they went to Europe and they met with a different culture. It would be in a way so nice to start with these songs and then end maybe with sort of mixing some music from the European part.
There are mainly songs about some kind of traveling or missing home, so the theme is there. And in another way, choose some songs from the region of Emirdağ, where most of the Turkish immigrants here come from.
Sonra Matias'ın güzel bir önerisi oldu. Bazı parçaların sonuna işte göç temalı olarak bir takım efektler eklemeyi önerdi.
Some sounds from that relates to traveling, like railway sounds, and maybe also some industrial sounds, which refer to the reason why 50 years ago people made this huge movement to come and work in our textile industry.
The first Turkish were like heroes, they left really from the countryside, or not from the cities, but they left something, and they arrived here in the cold country, in the rain, and completely different. It must be incredible, and how some Turkish people were cheating on other ones, and how it was really not that easy. And yes, it influenced me, I think, but not that I want to put this into the music. It influenced me. So the message is the emotions. I want to put this in the music, but not the concrete story of it.
The music is universal, so it's very hard to concretely put that story into music unless you use songs that have the topic of migration. But what I do think is that every city or every place has a certain rhythm to it, a certain color. And the fact that in this project we actually physically went there and physically did the trip, also overland with the train and met with people from on the road, whether you want it or not, you pick up that vibe and you pick up that color.
Vi waren met 3 groepen in Istanbul. De muzikanten hebben gerepeteerd gedurende een week en elkaar leren kennen. Dan zijn we vertrokken richting Gent via de migratieroute dat de Turken in de jaren 60 namen. 2 groepen zijn via trein vertrokken, Sofia, Boekarest. En 1 groep via 2 minibusjes, ook via de grote Europese steden zoals Sofia, Belgrado en Ljubljana.
Yolculuk çok güzeldi. Özellikle Romanya'dan itibaren süren 36 saatlik tren yolculuğu bayağı güzeldi. Trende Thomas'la beraber jam session hali bayağı güzeldi.
Well, since all the groups are traveling through major cities on their route, and I thought it was going to be interesting that they would meet a musician which had migrated to Bucharest, Ljubljana, or Budapest. In Győr, our media wave, the festival asked Gaia, who is an incredible Armenian singer, to give a song to that group who was traveling through Hungary. And in Ljubljana, Bogdan Benegar of the Ljubljana Jazz Festival did the same thing and asked Eduardo Raon, who is a Portuguese harp player, actually to write a new piece for the group who traveled through Ljubljana. In Bucharest, Lucian Ban, who is director of the Bucharest Jazz Festival, told me to take contact with Paolo Profeti, who is an Italian saxophonist living in Bucharest.
Çok şaşırdık aslında eseri gördüğümüz zaman çünkü İtalyan biri işte Romanya'da yaşıyor. Şişli Camii ile ilgili, İstanbul'da ilgili bir eser yazmış. Geldi önümüzde neden Şişli Camii diye sordum. Çünkü işte İstanbul'un çok meşhur turistik camileri de var. Paolo bir dönem Şişli'de yaşamış. O dönemde camiden yükselen ezan seslerinden etkilendi galiba ve aslında caz altyapılı birisi. Şişli Camii'ye çok farklı bir yaklaşım getirmiş.
La prima volta che sono stato ad Istanbul e ho sentito l'esan, quindi l'esan del muezzin, per me è stato qualcosa di molto forte, un'esperienza molto forte, quasi un richiamo divino, un richiamo ancestrale, un richiamo potente. E in un certo qual modo ho voluto con questa mia canzone, con questo mio brano, riproporre la sensazione che io ho avuto nell'ascoltare le esane. Okay? So you can lead the melody. Okay. There is always, you know?
Always a long
This is the time, yeah. Yeah.
Besteyi ilk gördüğümüzde biraz farklı geldi tabii nota yazım şekilleri olarak. Daha sonra bir çevirme yaptık kendi çalacağımız şekilde. Herkes üzerinde küçük oynamalar yaptı.
Arpistler açısından bakınca ben, eseri teknik anlamda bakınca mandallı arplarda çok kolay icra edilebilecek bir müzik değil aslında. Hatta imkansız gibi baktığınız zaman armonik altyapısına vesaire ama bunun üzerine birkaç saat kafa yorduk ve ortaya Paolo'nun da hoşuna giden, bizim de hoşumuza giden güzel bir sonuç çıktı.
I think it made the project richer because some strong things or weaknesses become more apparent and you have to find new solutions, and that's always what interests me in the project, when everything is going just from the page top to the bottom. I like to have some obstacles in the way, and that's interesting what happens when you have to find a solution.
The groups which were working on the more traditional or the classical way, as well the instrumentation as the background differed a lot. The rhythms were different, the tonal scales were different.
Kendi alanlarında çok uzman usta arkadaşlarımız. Tabii bizim Türk müziği sistemi biraz daha farklı olduğu için bazı seslerde perde ayarlama yapmak zorunda kaldık. Tabii onlar için bu kolay değildi. Çünkü daha farklı bir nota sistemi, müzik sistemi icra ediyorlar.
The scales are quite different, or fundamentally different from our scales, and some instruments cannot play those scales. So for me it was a nice combination of harps, which indeed usually don't play these extra quarter tones, and the voice and Kemençe who do. So that was very interesting for me how it would work, and we learned both the easy way, like avoiding certain notes, and also the long road we had if you want to really go into this musical world.
The rock pop group, they had a very common background, almost the same record collection, they listened to the same bands, and their way of working was very similar.
De Barken en Burak, ja, wij zijn hetzelfde. Allee, ja, wij voelen dat niet echt. Hè. Ik denk dat groep 1 en 2 die dan waarschijnlijk meer gevoeld hebben door de taal en door de traditie van de muziek of zo.
Tarzlarımız ve işte müziğe ele alışımız biraz benziyor az çok. O yüzden böyle tabii ki bir adaptasyon süreci oldu. Başta hiçbir şey düşünmeden beraber çaldık işte ya da karşılaşmadan önce bile birbirimize kayıtlar gönderdik vesaire. Böyle bir keşif süreci oldu. Ama çok uzak noktalarda değildik müzikal anlayış olarak. O yüzden daha rahat bir birleşme oldu gerçekten. Evet, yaşadığınız yerin getirdiği ufak tefek nüanslar, işte onun gibi bir sürü çeşitleme yaşadık tabii ama böyle çok büyük bir kültürel çarpışma ya da vay be ne kadar işte bambaşka bir kültür falan deme gibi bir durumumuz olmadı. Biz de İstanbul'da birazcık batılı tarafında yaşıyoruz hayatlarımızı.
We should work on the rest, record them, then listen to them and start then individually tweaking them maybe.
Very fast we experienced that they also have notions of post-rock, that they also have a culture in surf music, that they also know about rock and roll. So working with field recordings was a good thing to start with and not to get fast into this kind of structures.
I thought it will be strong professionals, interesting people who will immediately do what I imagine, and it was like that. For me it was very easy and with nice, good, very full feelings, if I can say like this.
Zijn er bijna, nog niet helemaal. Zo'n goeie hebben we nog niet gehad.
At. Terug. Nee. Dus wij gisteren hoeveel keer nemen we de tijd om iets te doen. Voor mij is dat moeilijk. Maar als je zo in een auto zit en je kunt alleen maar naar buiten staren om een dagje te doen en niet productiviteit en het onderweg zijn. Misschien doet dat wel meer met mij dan dat ik over nadenk of zo.
So after 1 week of traveling in quite basic travel circumstances, sleeping on the train and sleeping in a minibus, they arrived all in Ghent. So I saw the group arriving in the station in Ghent St. Peters, and it was really emotional to see them. It was like one group of friends and family. They were all hugging each other, and it was amazing to see how positive the atmosphere was in the group while they had a really tiring experience. And then we knew, well, wow, the result of this project it's very positive, and we made it. And then they had some days, 2 or 3 days, to sleep a lot and to rehearse. The 3 groups, they were like scheduled in the Istanbul Ekspres Festival in Ghent, and the concerts were all very successful. And they also expressed, all of them, that they would like to work together in the future.
Bence yani insanın kendi yaşadığı yerin dışında farklı yerler gezmesi, insan tanıması, kültür görmesi, müzisyenliğinin dışında insanlığına da bence katkısı var. İnsanın kendi gelişimine de. Hani müzik zaten hani iş için gidiyorsa ayrı bir şey ama yolculuğun kendisi insanı eğiten bir şey bence. Ama ben eğer bir flamenco ile ilgili bir şey öğrenmek istiyorsam Endülüs'e giderim ve Endülüs'te bir süre yaşarım. Ya da oryantalin hasını öğrenmek istiyorsam Kahire'ye giderim. Kahire'de bir süre yaşarım çünkü merkez yani. Kesinlikle daha iyi. Sonuçta YouTube'dan ya da bir takım videolardan izlemektense birebir dokunarak, hissederek, yaşayarak birilerinden bir şey öğrenmek çok daha faydalı olur diye düşünüyorum. O yüzden bir müzisyen için yurt dışına çıkmak, farklı yerler görmek güzeldir, iyidir, faydalıdır yani.
I don't think you should just look at it in a musical way. If you're an artist, you have to, as a person, experience many things. So just the social thing of being in another culture, meeting people, working together with them, it's very important, you know. If you're a painter or if you're a dancer, you should do it anyway.
The traveling is quite important, and it changes you without you really realize it, but it changes you always slowly a little bit. The way of working with other people from other countries or the way you play, even you think it doesn't affect you, it affects you.
When you are not in your home, not with your family, not with your friends, not with your language, then all your feelings, it's very sharp, and you feel everything very strongly. I mean, very extra, double, I don't know. I think in this way musicians can make very sensitive and very right. I can't find better word. Very right way.
When we went to Istanbul, they were in their home, and so they had their life also happening there. And then they came and met with us for 2-3 hours, and then bye-bye, they go back to their husbands and their friends and I don't know what. It's something that takes your attention away from the actual music. And then we have the trip where we are like a small microcosmos, the 4 of us, and where that's where it all happens, because you're completely disconnected from your ordinary life and all the distractions that comes with that. And I have the same here. We've been here, and you know, my phone goes, and I have to do this, and I have to do that, and you know. But when you're on the road, you're on the road. I mean, for me, the best place as a musician to be is between two places, because there's only you and the music, and that's where I think you evolve.